Semmy Schilt, a towering figure in the world of kickboxing, stands at an imposing 6 feet 11 inches, 211 centimetres, and weighs around 290 pounds. He's known for his extraordinary reach and formidable presence in the ring. With a background in Kyokushin karate, entering the ring wearing the traditional gi, Schilt's striking skills aren't to be underestimated.
Or two Gidon by Schilt. Oh! And down goes Gidon!
When we imagine a tall fighter and what they'd be good at, certain things come to mind, and a good jab is probably top of the list. The jab isn't usually the most dangerous punch, but a punch used to both maintain and find range. When maintaining range, we refer to a fighter keeping their opponent at literal arm's length, not letting them inside the danger zone where they could potentially land bigger punches like hooks or uppercuts. When finding range, the jab is used to set up the bigger punches by shelling an opponent up, bringing their hands up to protect their head, obscuring their vision, and then giving the jabby the potential to attack freely with their own more powerful combinations. Schilt does just that and combines his jab with the other tall-man weapon of choice, the front kick. But before we look more in depth at how Schilt uses his front kick, let's look at his jabbing technique. Schilt was naturally left-handed but chose to fight orthodox, meaning his naturally stronger hand was his lead. This no doubt made his jab far more efficient. He will usually carry his lead hand extended, bringing it closer to the opponent, meaning it had less distance to travel, but he'll also carry it low. This is so he can jab at an upward angle, making it more difficult for an opponent to read the punch and defend it. As Schilt is usually the taller man, he'd be punching down on an opponent, which he will do and can be very effective, but he'll also use this low lead hand to whip the jab, snapping his wrist at the last second to produce more power and make it a little bit faster. He'd also flare his elbow out to the side to jam any counter right hand. He has a built-in defence. It's classic tall man defence to boxing. Essentially just leaning back and being too tall to reach, combined with a shoulder roll or elbow to jam and deflect oncoming right hands. This tactic must make him an incredibly frustrating man to face, as he'll walk opponents down with his heavy thudding jab and then make himself a near impossible target to land clean on. Badr Hari did the correct thing, albeit in a totally wild manner, in his first bout with Schilt by crowding his space and throwing multiple shots at a time, swinging as hard as physically possible. If he missed a shot, he was going to follow it up. He basically used the tactic of just sticking it on Schilt and turning it into a street fight rather than a technical boxing match, which would have only suited the towering Schilt. Schilt's tactics are simple. Avoid the big punches whilst walking his man down to trap them in the corner or against the ropes. His style ain't pretty, but it's effective. His straight shots will push the opponent back, the jabs, the stabbing front kicks, and then he can blitz with more straight shots or hammer into knees. Schilt's clinch work is basic, very much like all the other elements in his game. He wants to use his size to lean and hang on a man. Think of Tyson Fury hanging off the back of Deontay Wilder's neck. It's a classic big man clinch strategy when elbows aren't permitted. But whereas Tyson Fury used it as a tactic to stall and wear an opponent down with physicality, Schilt benefited from being able to simply lift his knee up to an opponent's chin.
Kicks with the punches. Gidon shelling up.
If Schilt can maul a man on the break, then he will. But it's essentially all about getting someone to the ropes, where they can no longer retreat backwards and he no longer has to chase them. That's the disadvantage of being so big. He's slow on his feet, but what he lacks in agility he makes up for in brute force. Everything Schilt does looks like it feels absolutely horrendous because he's so big. This is something that tall fighters in lighter weight classes can't benefit from, a massive weight advantage. Heavyweight is uncapped, so Schilt can not only be taller than his opponent, but vastly heavier. When he throws them bones at a man that weighs 20 to 30 kilograms lighter than him, it's not going to be a fun time for the man on the receiving end.
You got to get in his face. Peter Ars did it, Badr Hari did it. Why isn't everybody doing it?
Oh, Labana gets tagged. Here in the first, and the referee puts a count on.
Going back to Schilt's front kicks, they're quite unique. Stabbing front kicks are now the meta in MMA, with fighters like UFC champion Sugar Sean O'Malley and champion Leon Edwards using them with regularity. But Schilt was throwing them back in the 90s. He's an OG. With his background in karate, Schilt's kicking technique differed to that of traditional Muay Thai, where a front kick, or teep, is used more as a defensive push kick. Think about flat-footing a door. The knees lifted up first and then extended outward. The word used to describe a snapping front kick in karate is a geri keage. Geri means front kick and keage means snap or rising, if I've pronounced that correctly. This kick involves snapping the leg out and back quickly, from the floor straight to the target, emphasising speed and precision. Schilt used this to not only dig into an opponent's midsection, knocking the wind out of them, but he'd also use it to march and fall into very powerful jabs. If his kick missed, a punch would often follow with all his weight behind it. Schilt achieved remarkable success in the K1 World Grand Prix, winning the prestigious tournament 4 times, and remains the only fighter to have secured 3 consecutive Grand Prix titles. His physical attributes made him a formidable champion and a revered figure in kickboxing, and he pretty much dominated the heavyweight kickboxing scene for several years. Whether you love or hate Semmy Schilt's style, you can't help but admit it was very effective. Schilt had an advantage against almost every opponent, and he capitalised on it. He made his attributes as effective as possible. Let me know in the comments if you like Semmy Schilt, and what's your opinion of him? Do you think he's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time? Let me know down below. As always, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me over on Patreon for extra breakdowns over there. And thanks to people who already subscribed. Pro Striking appreciates you more than watching Semmy Schilt land full force, 130 kilos into a jab. I'll catch you later.
Or two Guidon by Schilt. Oh! And down goes Guidon!
Oh!